YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for checking out the new video and for all the amazing support. And you guys already know you're part of the, wait for it, oh yeah, best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. Today's channel shout out is MichiStacker. Be sure to give him a look. He's got a great channel coming up. He's working on his subscriber base. Got some great videos over there. Give him a check out if you can. Tell him I sent you. You can find his link in the description. So, it was inevitable. It was inevitable. Once the announcement was made that Donald Trump won the election, opinions about metals and where they'd go price-wise were all over the place. And as usual, YouTube was a cavalcade of misinformation.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Oh, yeah. For example, let's take a fun look at some of the usual suspects here on YouTube. Yeah, those guys are back. I mean, they never really left. All those screenshots you just saw were vids that were uploaded within the time frame of the election. They're talking about metals going nuclear, silver running out soon, buy all you can right now, sell everything right now. I mean, I feel bad for any new stackers who are coming to YouTube for guidance in their stacking journey because the irresponsible content creators are running amok. And they couldn't care less about the truth or substance. They're looking for views and subs so they can line their pockets. And let's face it, guys. Clickbaity titles and thumbs, well, they do the trick. And these guys have mastered the art of deception and sensationalism, right? Anyway, let me get off the soapbox for now. So, all that said, we now have our answer as to what metals would do in the event of a Trump victory. They dropped quite a bit, and then they're making a recovery. But what exactly happened here? Well, all the misinformation aside, the price drop boils down to just a couple of simple reasons. And we're going to go over a little something without the silver and gold pumping. And all that said, you already know it.
Let's freaking roll it.
So we're all aware, and I think we can agree, that the recent uptick in metals in 2024 was basically driven by rising central bank purchases, geopolitical tensions, and declining interest rates. And those factors led a bunch of groups, Goldman Sachs for example, to predict gold would reach $3,000 per ounce by the end of 2025. Well, since the election, they've slowed down on that prediction just a bit, but not by much. Now, we already know that silver and gold prices took a dive in the aftermath of Donald Trump's victory, and the news sent bond yields, the US dollar, and stocks on a really sweet climb. And those factors make precious metals, especially gold, a lot less attractive to investors because metals don't offer any type of yields, right? And those aforementioned increases were mainly due to fears that Trump's proposed policies of tariffs and immigration policies could reignite inflation. Matter of fact, we've already seen an uptick in inflation just in October, leading into November. And with all this uncertainty, a stronger US dollar just about always guarantees weaker prices for precious metals. And if that dollar strength continues, it'll positively affect markets in most commodities, with the exception of, you guessed it, silver, gold, and platinum, since those are the most negatively correlated commodities to a strong dollar. Price will definitely take a hit until things start to look a little more discernible, and you also have to factor in the recent sell-offs as well, which most analysts think is nothing to even worry about because of gold's 33% gain in 2024. They still believe in higher gains down the road. Now, that being said, let's take a quick look at gold and silver prices before the election. On 30 October, gold was strong at $27.86 an ounce. And on 22 October, silver was solid at $34.86 an ounce. And then the election hit, and metals went down, specifically to low points of $25.62 for gold and $30.24 for silver. But here's where the prices shift, folks. Shortly after those drops, the US dollar index lost momentum, and metals have kind of started a little mini rally, with gold sitting at $26.29 as of today's date, and silver at $31.24. Look, in the end, things have a way of balancing out, and analysts are predicting more solid future gains. As with anything else, we will see. All right, so the explanation for the sudden downturn in precious metals is pretty easily discernible when you tune out the noise and misinformation, right? Now, the good news is that stackers are getting smarter, and they're weeding through the BS channels on their own. The bad news is, judging by the comments that are being left for these channels, is that far too many are still buying into the hype and feeding on every word the content creator is spewing all the way out from left field. They'd rather be told information rather than do their own research or due diligence, because if they did, they'd find out everything is not as it appears, as it's given. Don't get drawn into the hype. Don't get drawn into it. Silver's not hitting those outlandish predictions in price anytime soon, especially with paper silver or ETFs artificially inflating the true supply numbers. Remember, one silver ETF is allegedly backed by 1 physical ounce of silver. Key word, allegedly. Because I can promise you that very little, if any, physical silver is backing a single one of those paper contracts. And given that estimates for the paper to physical silver ratio is right around 400 to 1, in other words, 400 paper silver shares to 1 actual physical ounce of silver, well, this means that the available supply currently appears to be 400 times larger than it really is, which helps to keep prices stagnant, with some peaks and dips here and there as we're currently experiencing. Now, before we close this video out, I think it's important to note that Goldman Sachs kind of pumped up market sentiment when it stood by its ambitious projection of gold reaching $3,000 an ounce in 2025. Take that for what you will, right? But the market does seem to respond when Goldman Sachs talks, and that increase would actually reflect substantial economic concerns about a potential Trump trade war with the tariffs and whatnot. We already talked about it. And ongoing political tensions in the Middle East and Ukraine. Remember, those very same factors are what previously contributed to gold's historic peak this year, and silver making a really nice run. And as always, silver has a great chance to move symbiotically with gold price, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. I mean, it's pretty telling that despite everything that's happened in the last 2 weeks, silver is still hanging in there at over $30 an ounce. And it's crazy, but it's hung in there. So just remember to tune out the insanity, do your own diligence. To be honest, if you're in with your metals for the long haul, none of the spot prices should even really matter right now unless you're looking for the GSR to fall a bit so you can trade out some silver for gold. But regardless, tune out the noise and continue stacking if you believe in it. Don't do it because everyone's calling for stupid gains and selling panic to basically anyone who will listen. Stay grounded out there, folks. All right, there you have it. There's a lot of noise out there, and I know a good majority of my viewers know how to pick right through the BS, but we have to remember that our community is picking up new stackers every day, and we all should do what we can to help them along in any way we can, even if it's just little tidbits of solid opinions and drops of knowledge here and there. There are a lot of resources here to tap into, and even more experienced, honest stackers who'd be more than happy to help out. I know they will. Anyway, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And if you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, oh yeah, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack.
Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks. I'll see you on Sunday.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Oh, yes. And what was that beginning, middle, and end part again?